Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another part of my thing where I am making a robot Tetris announcer. There we go. It's been a while since I did one of these things. I apologize for the noises outside. Things are happening outside of my control. But I do have control over what we do today, and today we're going to put an end to our transition analyzer. And then we're going to work on something with Tetrises, and then if we have enough time, which we probably won't, we're going to put in some extra little bit of humor. And I just want to do a few of these wrap up things, just because I'm planning on another huge modification and feature update to this program, this solution in general, and I just want to clean up some of these last few things before I do that. So we had been working on this transition analyzer. It's supposed to recognize transitions, and I didn't quite know when we were going to um, say that transition is coming up or not say that transition is coming up. I was trying to make it a little bit more human-like, and I couldn't figure it out. I think we're not going to have a random element. We're not going to have these. And I just want to come back, take a quick look. This is our map, our lookup table, all of this stuff. Oh, my Amazon order has shipped. How exciting for me. What I want to do is I want to say if your current transition, if your current speed is more than 10 lines, so you're at your current speed for more than 10 lines, then we're going to give you a warning that transition is impending. And we're going to do that once you pass 70% of the lines needed to get to your next transition. And that's it. So we're not going to have any randomness to this. Okay, so we have our current lines, our last transition, and our next transition. And these get 0. Get lines until next transition. That actually produces a null. Okay. If we don't have a next transition, then we're just going to return true. That's fine. And now we're going to say something like, if next transition minus last transition is greater than 10. And then we're going to say if current lines minus last transition divided by, so this is current lines minus last transition. This is how many lines we've gotten into this current speed speed lines. Like, so if you start on level 15, you hit 100 lines, you're going to be at the same speed for 30 lines. So that's what we're looking at here. The number of lines that you've been in this current speed. If you are, let's go next transition. Actually, wait a second. Total lines in current speed equals next transition minus last transition. And then we're going to say if current lines minus last transition, let's make sure to do that subtraction first, divided by total lines in current speed, if that is greater than 0.7, okay, then what we're going to do we're going to have a private Boolean update given equals false. Okay, and not update given. Okay, and so then we're going to say if we passed 0.7, so 70% of our current, the lines in the current speed, we're going to say update given equals true. First, let's go to the text queue dot add text. Transition in next transition minus current lines. Okay, and we're done. Update given is true. And then we are going to say then once we get past the transition, we want to clear out update given. And so we are going to do that if current lines actually if current state dot previous lines I want to detect when you have just crossed into a transition. So I have last transition and next transition. Okay, so if last transition, and this is a number of lines, right? Get lines since last transition. Oh, right, we made it since last transition. That's kind of stupid. Get last transition. Yeah, we're going to change this. We're going to say if it has value, yeah, return this dot get value or default. We'll just throw a 0 in there. Get lines, not since last transition. Get lines. Just get last transition. This will be get next transition. This is we're going to do get value or default. That's just going to be null. Actually, I think I can. That's fine. Actually, no, that's already a nullable integer. Boom. Okay, and so now we can say if the last transition, yeah, if that's greater than 10, total lines, blah, blah, blah. If last transition is greater than the current state dot previous lines, it's greater than or equal to, then we're going to say update given equals false. All right, lines dot value. That's fine. Okay, so that's going to do that, and we're going to need to. Actually, this is going to have some cleaning out requirements. So the Tetris analyzer also implemented this interface. So this will have to implement the interface, and this is because when we clean it up, we just want to say update given equals false. So that when we start a new game, we don't carry over the value. I think that's good. We're just going to assume this works. I don't really want to try and get all of this stuff working. I don't want to test this because we tested it enough in the last month and I'm sick of it. We're just going to assume it works and fix any bugs that we notice next time. The next thing I want to do is in this Tetris analyzer, I want to, so as I was playing and using the robot announcer with my own personal games, I noticed that I sometimes, well, sometimes, more often than not, I get into this cycle where I can't make any Tetrises. I'm just cleaning and burning lines like crazy up near the next box, and it's like 20, 30 lines without a Tetris, and the robot announcer is just sitting there silent. And I'd like him to sort of make fun of me a little bit for not getting Tetrises. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have a new variable in here called lines since, not lines since last Tetris line count. And this is going to start off as 0. And what we're going to do is every time we get a Tetris, we're going to we're going to save the line value. And if we didn't get a Tetris, then what we're going to do is else if state.current lines minus last Tetris line count is like greater than, I don't know what, 20? Say 20. Then we're going to have some criticisms, I think. So let's make some criticisms. Lack of Tetris sounds. Oh man. Okay. So what do we want a robot announcer to say here? Someone should tell him the point of this game is to get Tetrises. I can't believe I'm watching this game. Where are the Tetrises? Seriously. The idea is to get Tetrises, dude. This rate, you'll never get a high score. I'm not sure what's worse. Watching you play or actually playing like you. Okay. He's a little mean, but that's okay. And then we're going to say text queue dot add text. Actually, this is funny. Get Tetris sound as a string, so I don't need this. That I need. Get what did I call it? Get lack of Tetris sounds. And I spelled it wrong. Okay, get lack of Tetris sound. Let's make this method and see what we get here. It's the same kind of idea. Our sound index. I think I'd like to make these things a little more interesting. Because right now it can pick the same one more than once in a row. Lack of Tetris sounds. Sound index. Okay, so now if I don't get Tetrises for 20 lines, it's gonna hurt me. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna actually let's make a lack of Tetris threshold equals 5. And we're going to do this, lack of Tetris threshold, just so I can modify it. We're going to start out with 5 so that I can just play and test this out. The other thing is we do need to clean up after every game, which we already do. But we want to say lack of Tetris. Last Tetris line count was 0 as well. Okay, so let's see what happens. We'll clean that up a bit. Let's move over to Tetris, and you will notice I got a new PB. I got 647,000. My previous PB was 559, I think. Yeah, so I did a very big boost. I'm very, very happy with my performance. So I'm getting there. Okay, let's start this. And so I'm going to start, and I'm going to try and not get Tetrises for 5. And
new game starting at level 15.
So what was that? That was 3 lines. Here's 4 lines. Okay, here we go.
At this rate, you'll never get a high score. I can't believe I'm watching this game. Where are the Tetrises? At this rate, you'll never get a high score. I can't believe I'm watching this game. Where are the Tetrises? Someone should tell him the point of this game is to get Tetrises.
No, I did get a Tetris.
At this rate, you'll never get a high score.
Dude, I got a Tetris.
I can't believe I'm watching this game. Where are the Tetrises?
He just doesn't shut up.
At this rate, you'll never get a high score. I can't believe I'm watching this game. Where are the Tetrises?
There's a Tetris.
Someone should tell him the point of this game is to get Tetrises. At this rate, you'll never get a high score.
Hey, dude.
I can't believe I'm watching this game.
So I think
where are the Tetrises? I'm not sure what's worse, watching you play or actually playing like you. Someone should tell him the point of this game is to get Tetrises. I'm not sure what's worse, watching you play or actually playing like you. At this rate, you'll never get a high score.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's worse, watching you play or actually playing like you. Seriously, the idea is to get Tetrises, dude. I'm not sure what's worse,
happening is
watching you play or actually playing like you.
We're not even giving
I can't believe I'm watching
game.
this game. Where are the Tetrises?
Because I think we're queuing up.
Seriously, The idea is to get Tetrises,
Okay.
dude.
Okay, stop.
At this rate, you'll never get a high score.
Okay, we'll go back here. That was funny. So what's happening? Excuse me. Every time, every screenshot, we're queuing something up, and we just queue it up. So we have to hold back. So we're gonna say last criticism line count equals 0. Now, when we are going to criticize, we're going to say lack last criticism line count equals here. So we've got this. We're storing this, and we're gonna have like a. Actually, maybe we should. We should just maybe. Instead of line count, we need a burn down timer. So we want to say, okay, hold on here. We need a timer. We need a class that will initialize a timer, and it will only let you do something every 10 seconds or 20 seconds or something like that. I think that's what we need. That's actually going to help clean up our Tetris line count as well. So let's make a new folder here. I don't know what to call it. It's really, I just guess utilities. Naming things is hard. So we're going to call this a burn down timer. And this is going to have a single seconds. Actually, no, okay, it's going to have a seconds. We're going to burn down timer in seconds. We will store it here. We want something that can only we will say public Boolean is running. Okay, and then we will say public. We want a Boolean is elapsed. Okay. And then we are going to say return initialized date time initialized initial time. Here we go. There we go. Actually, we'll say last time. So then we're going to, if date time now Actually, we can have a stopwatch here. Stopwatch is a fine class to use. Here we're going to say stopwatch equals new stopwatch. Yeah. Gonna have a number of seconds, which I got rid of, so we'll bring it back. And then we will stopwatch start. Elapsed. Is that how you spell elapsed? I don't even know. Let's have a look. Elapsed. No, it's just got one L. Okay. Is elapsed. Okay, and then we'll say if we'll return stopwatch dot elapsed milliseconds. Elapsed seconds. Can I do that? No, milliseconds. Is greater than seconds. Okay, and then I will public void restart this. Stopwatch dot restart. Now there might be a class already I could have used, but this will only let us do one thing. Or we'll be able to only do one thing. So let's go back to our Tetris analyzer. And we're going to say private const Tetris a lack of Tetris timer equals new burn down timer, and every 30 seconds. Oops. Private burn down timer. Okay, so that'll start, I think. Yeah, I think we're just causing it to start. Come on. And then here, and lack of Tetris timer is elapsed. Then we're going to add that to the queue, and then we're going to say lack of Tetris timer dot restart. So this will help us. We're only allowed to do this thing if the timer has elapsed, and then we restart the timer once we do this. So I think that's going to help. We're going to try this out. Here we go.
New game starting at level 15.
So the threshold is still 5. So let's get 2. But the timer is running. There's 5. So I've hit 5 and now 6.
Seriously, the idea is to get Tetrises, dude. Someone should tell him the point of this game is to get Tetrises. I'm not sure what's worse, watching you play or actually playing like you. I'm not sure what's worse, watching you play or actually playing like you.
That totally didn't work. Restart resets the elapsed time to 0. And then starts measuring the elapsed time. Why didn't that work? I'm going to take this out of here. Something's wrong. This is not doing what it's supposed to do. Ah. So only if my threshold is reached, then we check the elapsed nature of the timer, and only if that's elapsed. Oh shoot, elapsed milliseconds. That's my problem. I was checking for an elapsed number of milliseconds of whatever it was. 30. That goes fast. Okay, let's go back. We'll try this one more time. This should work. It should be fine.
New game starting at level 15.
So the keys to get 6 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I can't believe I'm watching this game. Where are the Tetrises?
So now he can only criticize me once every 30 seconds. Just want to wait for him to do one more.
I'm not sure what's worse, watching you play or actually playing like you.
So look at that, folks. The Tetris timer, or the burn down timer works. Okay. Let's get back to our stuff. Okay. So that's cool. I would like to turn the Tetris counter. Or no. No, never mind. That's good. That's all good. Okay. Hey, we're done that. Okay, so now what I wanted to do was this is good. I wanted to make some kind of I had this thought that it would be kind of nice to put in some random facts that the robot would give uh, if he's been silent for a while. And what I mean is this. So what we're going to do is the lack of Tetris threshold is going to be 30. And then every minute that you don't get a Tetris, ooh, that's a lot. Maybe let's keep it at 30. Maybe let's do 20. So once you get 20 lines without a Tetris, every 30 seconds he'll criticize you. That's fine. Let me just commit my stuff here. Oops. See what I've done. Finished Tetris transition analyzers, burn down timer. Oops. I can type. I swear. See, now I'm at the game analyzers, and I think it's good enough that we can actually merge that into the main branch. But let's do one thing. So what my idea is that I would have a bank of like thousands of facts. I don't know. I'm sure I can find a giant list online. And then I would have that in the robot's, database. That would be his knowledge. And if he hasn't said anything for 20 or 30 seconds, then he would say one of these random facts. And I think that would be absolutely hilarious. So let's see if we can't find a list, a giant list. Uh, so, list of hundreds of fact text file. I think I've already searched for this. And yeah, I remember finding this guy's GitHub repo. And this is just a giant list. Uh like this is a gigantic list of just facts. And some of them are, sad. Some of them are weird. Anyway, I'd like to take this list. First, I should find out if I'm allowed to. I don't know what this is. Can I? I think I can take this. I mean, if he's got any issues with it, I can find something else. But I mean, nobody's gonna care. So let's go ahead and no, let's. How do I download this file? Fine, we'll just save it all. Okay, let's bring it into here. This is going to be in the text-to-speech project because this is going to be outside the analyzers. And we are going to have a new item. This will be just a text file. And this will be called facts. And here we go with all those facts. We have 3,090 of them. That's fine. This really has to be... Don't build it. I guess just always copy. That's fine. Now, here we have... I should probably... I don't know. It's all good. So I am going to do this, and I'm going to say new class fact finder. Oh man. Public list facts. There we go. We have our fact finder and string path, and we are going to go facts equals file. Oops. Read all lines from the path. And we'll send that off to a list. Actually, what we're going to do is to hash set. Can we like shuffle them up or something like that? To list. Randomize. I guess it doesn't really matter. Public. String get fact. Get random fact. We're going to need a random. No, can't be const. New random. We're going to get the length of our facts file. Count? Sure. Return facts of index. Okay, let's let's create an interface. Good. Registration module. Let's register builder register type fact finder. I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but this will be funny to do. So this is our queue, and we keep trying to get. Once we do get something in our text speaker, last timestamp, or date time, not last active equals date time dot now, and then we enter our loop. We're going to say last active equals date time dot now. So we're always keeping track of the last time we said anything. If there's nothing in the queue, last active. Let's go date time dot now. Minus last active dot seconds is greater than 30. Let's make this idle talk threshold equals 30. Idle talk threshold. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say last active equals now. And wait, say text. Oh, we need our fact finder. Finder. So I don't want this to interrupt anything. So we're only going to do this if we don't have anything. Before, if there was nothing here, it would just go back up to the while loop and just keep spinning. But now, if we don't have anything to say, and it's been actually, a decent amount of seconds since the last time we actually did say anything, let's speak one of these random facts. And that's good. Let's make this 10 seconds because I want to test it out. And let's just do this. I think this is going to be hilarious. Here we go. Where's my controller? What time do I have here? We've been at this for 48 minutes. Oh, what happened? What happened here? Something's going on. There's no code. What? Stop. What's just happened? Try again. Oh. None of the constructors found with blah 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 can be evoked on the blah blah blah. Oh, ha, right. Yikes. Right, because the fact finder constructor wants a path. Let's not give it a path. Let's just give it facts. We'll hard code that in there. Okay, so now let's just wait for 10 seconds.
Construction on the White House began in October of 1792. New game starting at level 10.
Now we're playing.
If you fart consistently for 6 years and 9 months, enough gas is produced to create the energy of an atomic bomb.
Oh no!
The word lethologica describes the state of not remembering the word you want to say. A dime has 118 ridges around the edge.
He's not saying anything anymore. I'm not sure why not.
The most recycled product in the world is the automobile.
Okay. Good to know.
The mating call of a male toadfish, who are underwater, is so loud that it can be heard by humans above water. On average, 42,000 balls are used and 650 matches are played at the annual Wimbledon tennis tournament. Game is done at 8,510.
Okay, let's see if we can't get him to
New game
shut up.
starting at level 15. The Sears Tower in Chicago contains enough steel to build 50,000 automobiles. Apples, not caffeine, are more efficient at waking you up in the morning.
I don't believe it.
People have the tendency to chew the food on the side that they most often use their hand.
Possibly.
In 1933, Mickey Mouse is believed to have received 800,000 fan letters.
Good to
The most common pear worldwide is the Bartlett. It is bell-shaped, sweet, and soft with a light green color. Wow, what a Tetris!
Whoops. I was going to start talking again.
The decomposition point of olive oil is 220 degrees Celsius.
Good. I think this works. We'll stop this. Okay. And we'll come back to here. Whoops. So that's that. I mean, it's not great, whatever. But there you go. I think that's good. Okay, I'm pretty happy with what we've done so far. There's one more analyzer I wanted to make, and that was a PB analyzer. Oh, I should turn this threshold down. PB analyzer, just to that the robot announcer would recognize when you're getting close to your PB. And in order to do that, we're going to have a little bit of a configuration class with personal bests and records and things like that. So that is something that we might take care of in the next session. But I am going to call this part of the robot announcer finished. And I want to take what we've got and move into a new, expanding it even more. So we've been slowly expanding. First, we recognized digits, and then we recognized game elements. And then we use that to make a robot announcer. Now I'm going to use the robot announcer. We're going to have to do a bit of refactoring, but my goal is to be able to, well, we're going to have we're going to fork it, and we're going to go into two separate directions, but they're not totally separate. Right now, we have an analyzer that runs the analysis for a single game. And what I want to do is to get an analyzer that will be able to analyze two simultaneous games. And we will have a robot announcer commentating on a head-to-head match. And that is my new next project. But in order to do that, we're going to have to sort of redefine what it means, this call here, to get the state. Right now, we get a screen by taking a screenshot. And we're going to have to sort of massage that definition a bit, because the other side of the fork, the other path I want to take, is to be able to save games that I play. I want to save all the Tetris data model information, and be able to use that as the source rather than screenshots, but just the data models themselves as saved in a text file. So I can replay a game that maybe was a PB game for me. Excuse me. And then I want to ultimately be able to play a game, having the robot announcer commentate me playing against my own saved game as if we were going head to head. And I don't know if that works well. I might bring this over into actual Tetris restreamers and see if my robot can't be the next great Tetris restreamer. We will see. I have my doubts, but it'll be a good, very interesting thing to try. But I think this kind of wraps up most of what I wanted to do, other than that PB analyzer, which we might make next time. But I think in order to really prepare for the head-to-head commentating, we're going to have to do some intelligent refactoring, because our code is built now for a single game, and I want to reuse code to do 2 games at once, and I also want to use the same code that takes screenshots but also reads the data from a saved file. And so we're going to have some kind of a concept of a Tetris data model source. It's going to be either like a text file or directly getting screenshots and analyzing the screenshots. And then that comes into, how do we save these things? Well, every time we grab a screenshot, we read all the data. Well, yes, but we don't have to read all the data in order to go through each analyzer. And I'm not sure how well it will slow down. If we constantly have to figure everything out. But we can do that on another thread. Now I'm getting way ahead of myself. We can go through all of our analyzers and at the very end just feed it to a thing that identifies all the other elements that haven't been pre-computed and store that. And that would happen when you save it anyway. So why am I making all this complexity out of... Yeah, I'm making things more complex than they are. We could just have an analyzer that saves it. Anyway, it's all up in the air. It's in the future. Things are happening. So thanks for joining me. Have a nice day, and we'll see you next time.